What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster in chief. And tonight, in the BrewLab, it does appear as though we have finally resolved my technical issues. I spent most of yesterday undervolting my CPU, so going down in like little 0.1 increments. Took me a while, and I think we've settled on a spot right now, including the new cooling pad, where it feels stable, and I can use OBS and you know, my editing software as well without any troubles. So we're back in the BrewLab, and I thought for this first episode back in the BrewLab after a little break, we should do a episode of Brewing With. And so the color that we're brewing with tonight is going to be Grixis. I've got a couple of brews lined up, and they're very similar, but at the same time, very different, which is why there's two versions, and I kind of want to go over both of them and why I thought the things that I thought. So, without further ado, let's jump into tonight's brews. We've got Grixis Reanimator and the Cruelty of Grixis. Let's probably look at the Reanimator list first, which is where I kind of started with this whole thing. And this one's definitely leaning more on the dimmier side of thing. There's a lot more blue and black in the early game, with a couple of splashes of red, where we've got the Olivia, these Lord Xander, couple copies, Sul'Kanar, couple of copies, and then Big Score and Maestros Charm. Those are really the only cards with red in them, and it's only a 1 red pip, so it's really a dimmier deck that just happens to splash a bit of red, and for good reason. So it's a reanimator deck. We're using the Cruelty of Gix to reanimate stuff, and we of course need things to get our stuff into the graveyard where we want it, and so we have Big Score that can help us do that, whilst at the same time drawing us cards and ramping and fixing mana and things. Gone off a little bit to the wayside, Big Score has. Other cards have been taking the 4-drop slot. I haven't seen it played in a long time, especially since Goldspan Dragon rotated out and there's not so many Izzet decks taking advantage of it, but still a really good card, so bringing it back. Other ways we have of getting our stuff in the yard, we have Maestros Charm, which is probably the best one, in my opinion. The gain 3 life, lose 3 life to the opponent is amazing. Just sometimes you need it just to keep yourself alive. But then you can also do 5 damage to creature or planeswalker, which deals with almost everything in the format except for like a Titan of Industry. And you can also use it to put a specific card that you want into your hand, and the rest of the cards you don't want into your graveyard. Things like, you know, let's put the Cruelty of Gix in my hand and the 2 creatures into my graveyard, or something like that. So it's kind of perfect. Then we've also got Tainted Indulgence, which can draw us 2 cards and then discard a card. That in the early game is fine because we want to be discarding, and then if we top deck one in the late game, we'll probably have those 5 different mana values, and then we can just draw 2, which is also fantastic. So that's all of our card advantage engines. Let's talk about various types of removals and counter spells. There's lots of little one-offs here. I've gone for 1 Fading Hope in case we ever get to bounce Sul'Kanar before it ends up in the opponent's hand. But we've also got Ertai Resurrected to counter that triggered ability if it ever comes to it. Those are my 2 ways. Alongside also March of Swirling Mist. I think if you just simply phase out Sul'Kanar before it can go to the opponent, then you get to keep it. So pretty cool. What else? Yeah, well, those are the 2 one-offs. Then we've got Syncopate as our removal spell for the early game, and also 2 copies of Ertai Scorn and 1 Dissipate. Be loving these like exile counter spells right now in the format with all the tenacious underdogs running about, etc. So that's it as far as counter spells. Continuing on the removal, we've got 2 March of Wretched Sorrow, and 3 Infernal Grasp and 3 Meathook Massacres. alongside the Maestros Charm, that should be enough. And we've also got, don't forget, Ertai, which can also be used to destroy something. Then, as far as our creatures, I've touched on Sul'Kanar and Xander when I was talking about the red splash, but we've, of course, also got Sheoldred. Junji, sneaky one-of, really nice. Sometimes you can bring back, a Lord Xander. It's just basically kind of like another removal spell that the opponent has to exile, otherwise they got a 5/5 menacing flying coming through every turn, and then eventually if they do get rid of it, you're probably going to get back another creature, which most of the other creatures in the deck are all good things to get back. What else? That's it, really. Sneaky one of Olivia is great. Chuck her in the yard once, and you've got something else. You can swing with her and bring back 2 things at once. And the fact that we have 2 legendary vampires means if they kill the one, there might still be the other one on the board. So then the thing that you bring back with the Olivia won't get exiled, which is obviously a bad thing. Which is why I always ever just run a one of Olivias in my reanimator decks, because then you just end up losing some of your targets for reanimation. And that's the deck. As far as the mana base goes, we've got 1 Otawara, 1 Takenuma, 1 Zan, 3 Xander's Lounges, and 2 Plaza of Heroes. We've got plenty of legendaries, which include our Meathook Massacre. I may even go up to a... let's do that. Let's go up to a 3rd Plaza of Heroes. Cut a Sulfurous Springs. That's the deck. I don't think I really have anything else to add. It seems a pretty straightforward plan, but not a very easy one to navigate. Lots of answers to lots of threats, but also lots of one-offs. So we'll probably be using the tutor effect on the Cruelty of Gix quite often. But let's jump into some games. We'll be taking these for a spin on the unranked ladder. I'm in Diamond 1, I believe. I'm on Diamond 2, 1 game away from Diamond 1. I'm going to get to Mythic either tonight or tomorrow. So these episodes Brewing With, we can still just play a little bit of unranked. I hope that doesn't bother anyone too much. Like, I honestly think that these decks are both ladder ready. But like I said, I just don't want to risk it for the biscuit. Wish I'd had a blue source, then this would be fantastic. I'm gonna mulligan. Yeah. Blackblade Elite, playing mono black in the unranked ladder. Voodoo. Nice, we got our big score mana for next turn. Oh, that sucks. Well, let's discard Sheoldred.
My home, and I don't appreciate it when people touch my thing. Don't overthink things.
Perfect. Hello, Sul'Kanar. And big score number 2.
We all have things we'd rather.
Need to find something to take out this, there we go.
I'll be back with friends. When I win.
Dear gosh, what a pain in my ass.
Your secrets.
Wow, that's frustrating. Well, we can discard Fading Hope. And then take out his final Liliana.
You won't be outsmarting me.
Meanwhile, he's discarding his whole own hand as well, so not too worried.
Oh, that's my cue to leave.
You have actually just got to be kidding me. What are you doing with your life, my friend? Oh, I got nothing left to discard. Oh, that feels pretty good. Woohoo! Bye-bye.
Delay, nothing more. You won't be outsmarting me.
Third Liliana in a row that we've dealt with. Okay, are you done now? Oof, for a second there I thought he'd play a fourth one. Oh, that'll just damage you every turn. That's a bit disappointing. Let's hold it in hand in case we draw a big score. Oh, come on, mate. Really? Just give me a break here. You have actually just got to be kidding me. It's too much to bear, this nonsense. Like, that's my, I don't know, 1 billionth land in a row. Woo! These don't have an Infernal Grasp. Let's get our Sheoldred back, shan't we? Or should we go for Sul'Kanar? Yeah. Get the 2 Grixis boys. And let's do the gain life. That's what I'm talking about. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Hee hee. Alright, nice. I mean, we plowed through some pretty ridiculous stuff there. I think he kind of screwed himself up by putting, you know, all those cards of his own in the graveyard with Liliana instead of just playing them. That's why I don't like Liliana. Like a 2 of, 3 of in a mono black deck if you have tainted underdogs to discard. Otherwise, it just feels a bit. More often than not, it's a 3 mana removal spell that just sits there because you don't want to +1 because you need your mana to cast Invoke Despair. We'll do a couple of matches with each, maybe 3, and then we can have a little chat at the end about like what it is that we could do to improve things. Hello, Sul'Kanar. I like the look of you. Mono black again. Okay, something slightly different. Thank you. I want to discard that. Let's hold up the Ertai Scorn. Hopefully we draw a land. Again with this bullshit. Let's draw those cards before Sheoldred hits the battlefield. Okay. Interesting things could happen here. If he just grasps our Olivia, it's pretty bad. Underdog. Ooh. Bring back the Junji. Swing for 8. Maybe even kill the Tenacious Underdog. Swing with the Ertai as well. Not bad, not bad. That counterspell came in pretty clutch against that Liliana, but that's 2 in a row in unranked against very similar decks. It's everywhere. Alright, so that's number 1. Number 2 is significantly different because it's going more on the Rakdos side of things. So we get to play Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Lot less reanimatory, even though it's definitely still right there. Same number of Cruelty of Gixes. We still got the Lord Xander, the Sul'Kanar, the Sheoldred. But we're leaning a lot heavier on Planeswalkers. Soaring, 1 copy. 2 Obnix, 2 Liliana of our own. And we've got a lot more early game stuff going on. You know, Blood Tithe Harvesters, Tenacious Underdogs, things that we could sack to Obnixilis. We've got Bank Busters. You know, Flame Blessed Bolt, I think, should be looked at with a lot more consideration, considering all of the Tenacious Underdogs. I may even find a way to squeeze in an additional copy because the 3-0 was great. But we got a lot of this like toolbox stuff going on with the Cruelty of Gix' second chapter, where if we need an additional sweeper that also hits planeswalkers, we can go and snag a burn down the house. Things like that. What I've noticed with this one is there's a little lack of Liliana solutions. Yes, we can Flame Bless Bolt her. That's really it. You know, we can attack with our creatures. We can counter one with Make Disappear. We can also destroy it with an Ertai. We can do damage to one with Sul'Kanar. We do have a sneaky one of Burn Down the House. So we got some tools, but I feel like that may be the one problem that this particular version has. But otherwise, really, really funky. I'm loving it as well. A little less reanimatory, a little bit more mid-rangey with the Planeswalkers. Let me know what you think, of course, about both versions in the comments. And if you're playing Grixis, let me see your lists. But let's jump into a couple games with this one and see how it performs. Hopefully it's not another 2 more Mono Black Liliana decks, because we've had enough of that. He who plots with the Gruul ladies, as they shall be referred to from here on out. I like that Make Disappear. We don't have a black source for Underdog. But I'm gonna risk it, because if we get one more land, we can play the blah 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 blah. Ooh. Okay. Clerics. Ready for the counter magic. Bye-bye. No card for you. Very frustrating. Okay, gets back his angel. Pretty cool. That's actually not a terrible little thing. Boop. Okay. Still no land. Decline. That's okay. Probably the Overseer. I'm just worried about that other angel, Giza. I think she's got 5 toughness though, so this is still looking pretty decent. Sure. Skadoosh. 16. 6. 6 damage down to 16. Now we go with our lovely burn down the house.
I've always hated crowds.
And that's 3 decks in a row with the same shit.
Whatever. Luck favors the foolish, after all.
We go Fable, Blood-Tithe Harvester next turn. Raids. Tenacious. I'm okay. I'm not sacking a land. Bankbuster at the ready. Raids, huh? Okay, can bring back lands. Casts Lunarch Veteran. Oopsie. Did you just do a mistakey wakey? Sure. Actually, you know what? Let's... Perfect. Ooh.
Out of my way. I have a weapon. I bring my own.
Okay. What do we put in the yard here? Guess he brings back his Liliana? Eh? This card is really strong. Mono white coming soon.
This is my home, and I don't appreciate it when people touch my things.
We could crew the Bankbuster and sack that instead. Then we still lose the we still lose Soaring. So whatever. I'll keep my Blood-Tithe Harvester. Or I'll block the braids with it. Ooh. Oh wow. Got ourselves a real charmer. Ah, dear God. Oh. Wait, what just happened? Wait, what just happened? What? I was on 3 life. Oh, the pain lands. Oh no, the pain lands. Oh, that's what you get for being a noob, my friend. Oh my goodness, that was terrible. That was terrible. Cannot believe we just suicided ourselves. There may have been a way out of that. Oh, dreadful, dreadful, dreadful match. Felt pretty much in control the whole way, but just this like creeping little bit of value from the opponent and the little drain action. Just couldn't quite get out of it. Come on, play that tenacious under that. This is the 4th black deck in a row that we've played. Just putting it out there. No, yeah, 4th one. Basically, I mean.
No more distractions. Let's make sacrifices must be made.
Now that's a problem for our reanimation shenanigans.
This isn't how things were supposed to go.
Man, this is ridiculous. Here comes the invoke.
Happy to help, but I'm taking. We all have things we'd rather forget.
What? 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 Come on. Okay. I'll take it. So of the 2 so far, the first one's definitely feeling a lot better. Trying to think of a way to fuse the 2 ideas. That's always usually the best thing when we do these episodes of Brewing with. Just kind of like take the best from both and try and mesh them into one. Get the mirror breaker in there, but then because the reason why I don't have the mirror breaker in the other version is because of a lack of legend. You know, there's no copy targets whatsoever. They're all legendaries, whereas in this deck, at least you got the Blood-Tithe Harvester you can copy, which is great. And this is the 5th black deck in a row that we've played. In a row. There was that one guy with the Orzhov. Otherwise, it's just been black. I think we've seen Liliana every single match.
I win. You're telling me what you know.
I think I might just concede right now.
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
Bye. Man, this is insane. Like, I have never had the meta be this skewed. Not even when Mono White was so broken. Mono Red in Eldraine, like, it still wasn't this bad. Like, there's no escape. There's just Lilianas and underdogs in every single deck. Look at me. I'm playing them in my deck, but... Wow. Even in unranked, we find this many back-to-back, over and over again. It's quite ridiculous. Okay. I'll keep that. Woo! Oh wow, it's a red deck. It's a freaking miracle. Oh wow. I knew it. Wow, someone's fully trying this. Wow. Full on, proper. Meathook. Oh. Freaking 3 of our only 3 5-drops in the deck. In the top 10 of our library, the opponent seems to have every single card in the world, except for his second red source. Oh my god. You have got to be shitting me! Comes the Raiju. You absolute asshole. Oh dear God, what have I done to deserve this? Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Alright guys, this version, I don't know what, just a lot of bad luck, honestly. Really fast aggro deck, Floodsville, 1 million mono black decks in a row. I don't know, man. If you're gonna go the like Rakdos version of mono black, you know, that's Blood-Tithe Harvester, Fable, Obnix, blah blah blah, you're probably better off just not playing Grixis and like get all of this stuff out of the deck. All the blue stuff, off you go. Just a quick little BrewLabification for you guys on the fly. We'll keep this video for another time. however, because this is a really strong brew in and of itself. Oop. I'll just do a quick mock-up. Invoke. You could even put in one Invoke Calamity, honestly. Go for the full... And then a little bit more removal, I guess. I quite like this Flame Blessed Bolt idea, and maybe one less Underdog, one more Infernal Grasp. That, to me, seems pretty much the way you ought to be running it. I would put in my mechs, my mech hangers for... I'll just put in the one. Bam. This would rock. But I'm not going to play with it tonight. I'm going to keep this for another video. So as far as tonight is concerned, I think if you're going to play Grixis, rather than go for the, you know, basically mono black that's just splashing other colors for utility and things, go full on reanimator. You know, put your 3 or 4 copies of the Cruelty of Gix. Maybe even if you don't want to go for these reanimation targets, you know, you could do the usual. Just throw in there some Titans and you're off to the races. Just go 3 Titans and discard them with your discard things, and then just reanimate Titans with this. And I think you're way better off. I quite liked the synergies with the Sheoldred and all the various card draws that we have, gaining us a bunch of life. I love that we got to actually attack with the Lord Xander in that one game. Really sweet. All in all, this is the one that I will be going for. And it's very legendary heavy, so there's no reason to be playing Fable of the Mirror Breaker. But that also means we get to play Plaza of Heroes. Just a lot of really cool things about this one. I think I'll put this one in the link in the video description down below for you guys to go copy and enjoy. But that is going to be it as far as tonight's gameplay footage. Unfortunate defeat there with version 2, but arriving at a final solution. I don't think meshing these two together is a good idea because of everything that I've just said. Grixis, of the 3 potential color combinations that you could do of 3 color decks with the Sheoldred thing, you're probably better off going with Jund or Mardu. I've seen people playing Mardu, including, you know, with the Angel guy. You know, something like that is your better mid-range plan right now, in my opinion. Whereas Grixis Reanimator, like without you know, risking the risk of sounding like a stuck record, we're definitely going to have to do another one of this, because it was already really strong in the previous format, and we've got some sweet new things, mostly the Cruelty of Gix. So yeah, I think if I would to make a second one, I would take out all the legendary things, put in Titans and Fable of the Mirror Breaker, and that would really hum along nicely. So we'll probably have to do that as well. So lots of work cut out for me in the next coming weeks. You're going to have to stay tuned. But that is going to be it again for tonight's episode of Brewing With. I will see you all tomorrow with another fresh brew. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.